Lawwin Media Network.
Bringing to you the most relevant content across all platforms.
Business, legal, politics, health, lifestyle, and entertainment.
Your source for all the news and updates in the greater Houston community from Texas and all over the world.
Get informed and empowered with Lawwin Media Network.
Good evening, Philippines. Good evening, USA, from Texas to Wisconsin to the East Coast, West Coast, and all over the world. Welcome to our episode 4 of our second season in Beyond Health and Wellness. This is Conversations with Dr. Rich. And I'm Dr. Rich, so welcome back to this episode today. We are talking about empowering conversations here, and since I am your host, and as always, I'm here to help you unlock the best version of yourself, your mind, your body, and your spirit. Last episode, we explored vibrations, frequencies, and the 7 levels of awareness, and we left off with a powerful realization that you are not stuck at one level. You can move up, grow, and elevate your life. But here's the thing in our podcast and in this topic today, particularly because in today's world with endless distractions, negativity, and stress, we need to be able to know how to stay aligned with the higher frequency that we aim to vibrate upon. So, we are going to talk about that today. We're going to tackle this topic about how to tune into your highest frequency and stay there no matter what's happening around you. Again, this is your episode 4 of our season 2 of Beyond Health and Wellness, Empowering Conversations with Dr. Rich. In this segment, we're going to talk about a few things. For example, we are going to understand how frequencies are and what they function and how we can function in them and how we can utilize them or use them or take advantage. It can bring out the best in us. So, for example, why do we get tuned out when we try to stay in a frequency of positivity? Why do we get tuned out? We're going to answer that question. We have a lot of viewers from Manila, we have viewers from Cebu, from Mindanao. We also have viewers from Dubai. Hello to our friends in Dubai. I've seen you, I've met a few of them back when I visited there last year. And also in Saudi Arabia, we have friends there in Saudi Arabia, also in Manchester, in England. Some of our people there, I've invited them to view our podcast, and so probably they are here. And I encourage you to send in your question, comments, whether directly or in the replays of this video, because we are live at Facebook, live, YouTube, in our main media, that is the stream.lawin.net, and also we are live in twitch.com. So we are going to talk things like this. That remember that in our previous podcast, we've been talking about the conscious and the subconscious mind, and that there is only one mind, and then we just it by putting some kind of a variation or it's not a boundary, but some kind of a distinguishing mark between the consciousness and the subconsciousness, or the conscious mind and the subconscious mind. Because our conscious mind is the one that's thinking. The doesn't think. It doesn't make decisions. It doesn't reject. It can only accept. So it's deductive. It can only accept and then make it come to pass. That is the role of the subconscious mind. It's the biggest part of the mind and it's the most powerful part. But it can only move once the thought or idea from the consciousness is allowed to get in. So it's important to understand that. And then as we moved forward to our discussion, we moved into the idea that energy is, that everything is energy, that what we're going to do, what we're saying, that what we're seeing, that what we're hearing, they are all forms of energy, and all forms of energy carry with them information, and all those information are communicated through our five senses, and that five senses will submit it to, according to our consciousness and awareness, will submit it to our subconscious mind so that it will. So now we then talk about how our levels of awareness look like, and it was like this. We have the highest level, which is the seventh level, which is the mastery, and in that level we've identified that that is the ability of us to respond or react. At that level we've already mastered the art of living, I would say, and we are able to respond rather than react. A lot of us react, included with that. That's why we need to grow. So, but here's the thing: when we go above or below the levels of frequency, or we call that the seven levels of awareness, but really that's just to graduate the levels so that we can understand it. But it's frequency, so there are fine boundaries of it because it's constantly moving. So now, but really, what will happen is when we want to stay in the highest frequency or next to the highest frequency, but sometimes we are, well, not sometimes, but a lot of times we are tuned out. Why is this? So here's the thing: early in the morning when you wake up feeling great, you have full of energy, and then bam, life happens. Your phone buzzes with bad news, the traffic makes you late, someone's negativity rubs on you, and before you know it, your high vibration has plummeted. Now, why does this happen? Because energy is contagious. Now, remember, we said energy is, it is contagious. Everything is energy, and because everything is energy, it affects us. It contaminates us. So now think of yourself as a radio station. If you're tuned into high frequency, you attract clarity, there is joy and success. But if you're constantly bombarded with noise, negativity, and stress, your station gets full of static. It's filled up with static. So there's the static energy. It's not moving. It's oscillating, not going anywhere. So why is that? What's pulling us out of alignment? Now, here are the three major culprits of why we're put away from the frequency where we want to stay. Number one is our social media overload. Now, you'll be thinking about that. You've been scrolling your social media platforms like your Facebook, YouTube, and all kinds of search engines, including even what we call now as the open AI. So we scroll, we ask, we do all this, but they are never ending highlight reel that makes us feel like we're behind because it continues to, and we're trying to catch up. We're always trying to catch up. What's the latest of this, the latest of that, and it's also very addictive because again, when you feel good, feeling good is addictive, but also feeling bad is addictive. That's why we have that victim mentality. Now, the other part is toxic conversations. So these toxic conversations can pull us out of our high frequency level that we want to stay. Gossips, complaints, drama, they lower our vibration. So just take note of that, okay? And every single one of us will need to learn, and we're learning together because this is not something that is isolated or only limited to certain kinds of individuals, but this is for every single one of us. And we are in this world, so we will have all those kinds of tendencies. So that's toxic conversations. Make sure that your conversation or the conversation that you have with someone, or someone is conversing with you, it is something that you want to accept or participate in. Because if you're participating in a conversation that will lower your vibration, then you will lower your vibration and there's nobody else to blame. The other one, so let's do it again. The first one is social media overload. We are overloaded with so much information. It's an open superhighway. The other one is toxic conversations. When we entertain toxic conversations, that could pull us down from our high vibration or in the frequency we want to stay. And then, of course, the third is mindless consumption. Now, this will bring us back to the purpose of our podcast, which is beyond health and wellness. Mindless consumption of junk food. That's number one. I think I'm talking to a lot of people here. And the other one is excessive television. Okay, excessive. I don't think television is bad. It's only bad when we use it for something that will make it bad, and then that becomes destructive to us. And then the other one about mindless consumption is low energy habits. They drain you. If your habit is something that is negative, that will pull you away from the best person or the best version of yourself, then that will drain you as well. So your frequency will go down. So we get tuned out because we're not guarding our frequency. And that's the first step. Become aware of what's pulling you away from your alignment. So let's take a look again at our slide here. So energy comes in, and we want to be make sure that we are aware of what's coming in. We are guarding the information that we entertain. We are also guarding the information that we give out, because the information that we give out will always come back to us. Okay? Did you see that right? I hope everyone is paying attention to what I just said. Anything that goes out will come back to us. Anything that you give away will come back to you every single time, 100% of the time. So if you are giving jealousy, jealousy comes back. So make sure what you are giving away is you want for yourself. If you want something for yourself, you want to give that away. The way to receive is to give it first. Okay. So remember, we talked about this in the last episodes that we have. When we want to talk about wealth or success or something, like we want to prosper and we want to increase or maybe accumulate some form of whether that's money or something, you want to be able to give, because he that has nothing, what he has will be taken away, and he that has something more will be added. So it's really going to be give it out so that you will get it back. If you that's all you have, if you give what you have, then the sky is the limit for what you can receive. So we had that. We want to guard our frequency, and that's the first step. We want to be able to become aware of what's pulling us away from alignment. Was it social media overload? Was it toxic conversations? What was it? Mindless consumption of junk food? Anything that has excessive sugar or excessive television, anything that we consume that has low energy habits like sleeping more than required, or being lazy, or not exercising. All those kinds of things will drain us. We don't even have to be told. There is no rule, there's no one hard and fast rule that makes everyone follow the same thing. You determine what you have, and you can witness that for yourself, that something is that you do has low energy habit, and that drains you and puts you lower than the frequency you aim to stay. Okay, I hope that is very clear for us, and we are going to really discussing about that some more. So, um, some of our audience today are telling us that they have been uh, uh, so timely. I am currently eating junk foods. Yeah, I'm sorry about that. Yes, and all of us, I think, I would say that all of us are guilty at some point or one point or another. And we want to just keep improving with the awareness. Remember, with the awareness, really, it doesn't help us if we continue to do what we are already aware that it will distract us or put us in a lower level of frequency. So we want to stay that way. But we will continue to talk about that. We'll take a quick break. This is your podcast, Beyond Health and Wellness, empowering conversations with Dr. Rich, and we are live in stream.lawin.net, YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. We'll be right back.
Tune into Legal Treats with attorney Eileen Ligote Dizon
every Friday at 7 p.m. Central Time.
Get your weekly dose of legal knowledge, especially on family matters like divorce, child custody, child support, estate planning, probate, and immigration.
Engage in discussions by posting your questions, comments, greetings, or shoutouts.
See you every Friday at 7 p.m. Central Time. That would be Saturday at 9 a.m. Philippines. Don't miss out.
All right, we are back. So, this is your podcast, Beyond Health and Wellness, empowering conversations with Dr. Rich. And we are talking about the seven different levels of awareness. And in that levels of awareness is an illustration for us to understand that the lower we get to our awareness, the lower the vibration is, and the frequency and the result will also be commensurate to that. The higher we go, the better the results will be, the more desirable the outcomes are. And those are our awareness. We want to be able to be aware of all this so that we know where do we want, what level are we, and what level do we want to go. In reality, that is just seven levels of awareness. We're really talking about frequencies here, which is the sky is the limit. It doesn't end because it's always going that way. For example, right now we're talking, or I am talking, and some of our viewers are paying attention. A few seconds they are not paying attention. They're paying attention to their cell phone, or they're paying attention to somebody who called them, or they're thinking about what they are going to eat. Are they going to throw the junk food, or are they not? Or are they going to dial something? Are they going to scroll in their Facebook? Every single time there is what we call as that frequency goes up and down. Your frequency of attention goes up and down. The good thing is you can bring it back, and that's where we are going to take off in this second segment of our discussion. So if we can get pulled out of alignment, that means we can tune back in just as easily. So how do we do that? By intentionally protecting and elevating our energy. If your energy goes down, no one else can tell better than you do. And you know when it's going down, you know what to do, which elevate it back. And there are simple but powerful ways to do that, because you'll be asking, okay, my frequency is lower. I'm very negative now. I want to be positive. How can I do this? You can just do that. You probably could if you want, but it takes a lot of effort. Now, here are some guides. There are five simple, powerful ways. And the first one that I would like to share is our morning frequency check. Every morning, Start your day with intention, not reaction. You want to be intentional about what you want to see happen every morning. Let's say no phone, no social media in the morning, just a deep breathing, gratitude, and a positive affirmation. Now your morning frequency is checked, that you started with deep breath. Deep breath will make you have a better self-awareness and being mindful of your body, that you're staying in that body and you are being mindful of that, you're being aware. The other one is then you are thankful for the things that you get. You have all the opportunities, no matter how small they are, victories and successes, milestones, progresses, all of those you're going to be grateful for them. And so what I do is I always try to tell people to list down 10 things that you want to be grateful for. If you can't remember all 10 things you want to be grateful for, right? Just three, just three of them. And sometimes they say, well, it's been like this, and I repeat it. Just repeat it if you want, but make sure that that's something you want to be thankful for. And then you have your positive affirmation. Just today, I laminated my positive affirmation. So I had all those kinds of things, and I laminated it because I want to make sure that I do what I'm sharing, I'm doing. And so I have this kind of lamination. I'm going to share this to you. This one is my laminated affirmation. This is good for morning, and then I have morning, and then I have midday, and at the back I have evening, and then in the weekend I have weekend. These are I repeatedly do this. These are my deep relaxation in clarity and success, and I have morning visualization. I only spend about 5 to 10 minutes with this. What I do is I make deep breathing, and then when I say deep breathing, you inhale at the count of four, and up to four. That's already in the air is inside your lungs. It's absorbed in your lungs, and then you exhale for count of six. So when you exhale about six, so longer when you exhale, so don't just blow that air out immediately. So take time until you count six, and you do that about four times, 3 or 4 times, and then you repeat what you are going to say. Maybe you want to say it, let's say 3 times, to say I start my day in a powerful frequency or powerful mood. You just do that. I start my day. I start my day with powerful mood. Mine is I start my day with clarity, confidence, and purpose. I start my day with clarity, confidence, and purpose. That's what I do. So after that, I say 3 times, and then I do another one, which is visualization. I visualize what will unfold today effortlessly in my work. I visualize how easy it is to navigate around my tasks for the day. I just visualize some 1 or 2 things. When I say visualize, you picture it out. You create an image in your mind. Maybe there is a chair, maybe there is a car. You picture it out in your mind. You put the picture, you add what it is that you want to see. It is not what you see from the outside, but you want to see from the inside. You create, not the outside creates for you. Okay? But you create the image from your imagination. So you put, I want to put a chair. I want to put somebody sitting on the chair. I want to put an apple. You put that one. That's your visualization. Okay? Maybe you want to put some money, stacks of money. Maybe you put a very robust bank account, bank statement. Put that one in your imagination. Or maybe you want the very nice, beautiful dress or a beautiful house, 5 bedrooms. You want to be able to create that because that's what we're really good, but we're not using that a lot. So visualize. And then after that, that's almost 5, 6 minutes. After that, I will seal my morning routine by saying, I am fully prepared for today's opportunities and victories. And that's all. There's no fun flair, there's no drama. I just do that, and that's about 5 or 10 minutes. I finish, and then I move around whatever it is that I'm doing. I already forgot that. I'm going to put that one aside. I already did that in the morning. Now, here's a question: how can understanding your personal values guide you in filtering distractions and staying aligned? How can understanding your personal values guide you in filtering distraction and staying aligned? So, your understanding of your personal values can really guide you. When you say personal values, I think we are talking about paradigms here. Your paradigm is the one that determines what you intend to have as a result. No matter where you're going, what you're doing, your paradigm determines the result. It's like your cybernetics instrument in your plane. The cybernetics instrument or mechanism in the plane determines where that plane is going the moment it takes off from the runway. It determines if it's from Texas or Houston going to LA, it's going there, barring any form of untoward circumstances. It's going there because it's set up. That's your personal values. It's the one that's guiding you. So what you want to do is make sure that either you set, refine that, or work on that, because our paradigm, the personal values, have been developed since we were day one up to 7 years old. Okay. Now there are so many of us that don't have, there are undesirable. They determine that their personal values are not in line with the frequency they want. It's pulling them out. And sometimes we say, okay, it's the distraction of the travel media, but also it's our paradigm, which we want to talk later about that as well. But really, it's the one that's guiding you. Instead of doing something, you have your affirmations, you have your, what do you call that, daily morning ritual, if you would. And then, but the result will still be different because it's the paradigm that determines the result. The paradigm is very strong. It doesn't die. It just fade away, but it stays there. Once it's awakened, it awaken again. So what you want to do is really want to do something about your paradigm by constantly being determined about making sure that you constantly do your morning visualizations, because you will be distracted. And I can tell you, you will be distracted. There will be, instead of thinking about money, you'll be thinking, oh, what about my debt? Because the paradigm is debt. The paradigm is your loan, or whatever. And it's the one that's opposite to what you want to see happening. So what you really want is recognize it, don't ignore it, recognize that it's there, and you're not going to pay attention to it. Okay? You're going to just continue staying aligned. You want to work on something that you want to have or see happen. Okay? Rather than looking at, but my paradigm says it's this, but my paradigm says we are poor. I recognize that my paradigm says we are poor, but I'm not going to pay attention to that. I'm going to go ahead and do my morning visualizations constantly until my morning visualizations become part and parcel of my paradigm, and the old paradigm goes away or at least fades or being covered. The one that's dominant is the one that you pay attention to. Okay, take note of that, because remember we were talking about energy. Everything is energy. The one that you focus on is the one that you give energy to. It's like you animate it and then it starts moving. Your focus is the one that animates what it is that it's focused on. If you're focusing on poverty, it animates poverty, and the more it gets in the way. If you focus on success, on your money, your financial freedom, it animates it, and then it's the one that is activated. Then you are in that frequency. Okay, when you are in that frequency, it's only a matter of time before the things that you want will happen, and doors will open, opportunities, circumstances will pave its way so that you get it, because you are going to get it. It's like we are going to go to the moon. The first time that we talk about going to the moon, mankind talks about going to the moon, and putting somebody there alive and bringing it back. The moment they decided that we're going to do that, it's going to happen. It's only a matter of time. When that happens, it's a goal that is already done. So it's only everything that we do, we want will come to pass. It's only if we are going to focus on that. If we are not going to focus on that, then we are focused on something else, and that something else will be the one that will come to pass. So it's very easy to understand that, but it's also very important for us to understand that there are distractions, and those distractions can pave a way for us to be misaligned from the frequency. But the way to do that is to just keep going. Don't ignore, acknowledge it, but don't pay attention to it. Pay attention to what you want to see happen. Now, this is your podcast. We are live here in stream.lowen in YouTube and in Facebook Live and in Twitch. And this is your podcast, Beyond Health and Wellness, empowering conversations with Dr. Rich. We'll take a break and we'll be right back to continue some more. We'll see you there. And we're back. This is Beyond Health and Wellness, empowering conversations with Dr. Rich. We were talking about the five simple but powerful ways, and we talked about morning frequency check. That's our morning visualization. And then the other one I was going to just move quickly is move your body. Your physical energy impacts your mental energy. So stretch, walk, dance, jump, just move. Move in the morning. Okay, movement. Remember, mind is movement, so you are going to move with the mind because mind is moving. It's not static, it's not stopping. There's no such thing as it stops. We are moving, so either we're moving forward or we're moving backwards or deteriorating, but we're moving, we're not stopping. So move. The other one is clean up your inputs. Pay attention to what you consume. High frequency content is important. It is equal to high frequency energy. You want some high frequency energy, have some high frequency content. And you know what that means. Every single one of you, you know that. So the fourth one is take a quick energy reset. Throughout the day, pause. So I have my midday reset for 2 to 5 minutes. I pause, I close my eyes, I take three deep breaths, I scan my body, I release tension from my shoulder, I loosen up, and then I do my affirmation again. So clean up your inputs, take quick energy resets, close your eyes, breathe, realign. It only takes about 60 seconds. For me, it's 2 minutes. I try to make it a little longer. Set boundaries like a boss. That's number 5. Don't let negative people or draining habits hijack your frequency. Don't allow that. If your frequency that you want to stay with is you being pulled away from that, don't allow that. Say no. It doesn't deserve your attention. You stay there. Now, if somebody pissed you off, somebody's messing with you and you didn't feel good anymore, you want to go stay away, step out for a little bit and gather yourself so that you can begin to again go back to that frequency, because it could affect you. It's everywhere. As I said, it's energy, and you want to entertain the negative energy, it affects you. The one who stops it is affected by it. So set boundaries, like I was, stay away and hold your ground and be more positive. Okay. The more you protect your energy, the easier it becomes to stay in alignment in the frequency that you want to stay. You don't need to be perfect in this instant. You just need to be consistent. Make sure that we all understand that we need to be consistent. If you want to stay where you want to be and it gets distracted or you're being pulled away, go back. Okay. It's the same thing with our mind. Remember, we go back to consciousness and subconsciousness. Our consciousness is where our thoughts is. We are distracted. When you're listening to me, you are distracted, but you pull it back. So when you're meditating, you're concentrating or focusing or visualizing, your thought is pulled out of that. When you're thinking about money, now there's some kind of there's somebody that gives you about your debt, your loan, your car, this, and somebody needs repair, or something needs repair. All those kinds of things are in your thought. Now you pull away from that, go back to where you were thinking. Okay, so because then it takes time, but when you get there easier, and you get the hang of it, and you are better off with it, and the results will be better, and the results are also permanent. Okay, so now in our segment number 3, we are now aligning with our true purpose. So remember, if you understand what will get there. Okay, so this is a deeper take on this segment on this topic that we're talking about, because staying in high frequency isn't just about avoiding negativity. Sometimes we're so focused to avoid negative, but it's really also about living intentionally and aligning with your true purpose. Because if you pay attention to negative, the negative will stay there. But if you pay attention to what your true purpose is and being intentional with it, you will align there. So here's the thing. You want to ask yourself about whether you are making choices that excite you, or are you just going through the motions? You are just drifting by, making choices that will keep you on track on the desires and purposes of your life. The other question you want to ask is, am I surrounding myself with people who lift me up? If the people around you is not lifting you up or encouraging you or motivating you, then it's time to rethink about those kinds of people that you are surrounded with. Or are you stuck in the energy draining cycles? You're surrounded by people. Now, I can tell people, sometimes I have this opportunity to read people, and I can read them like a book, because I can see who they are. Now, the first one is the first, how much money you have. Now, I'm not going to ask money from them. I'm not asking them how much money because I want some of that. I'm only going to ask because I will be able to determine where their focus is. And so people tell me some amount, and then I can determine, okay, so that's where it is. The other one is, who are you with? Who are these people that you are surrounded with? 5 of them. The 5 of them will be the average kind of person that you are as well. So is this the kind of person that you want? If not, then they are draining your energy cycle. You don't want to go to negative people and influence them and make them positive. It doesn't work that way. Okay, take note of that. It doesn't work that way. You're from negative, and you are going to to stay with the positive. Okay, you are going to stay with the positive. It's not like, okay, I'm going to go to these negative people so that I can turn them positive. It's likely that you will be the one that will be turned negative, because it is contagious. Okay, the lower frequency energy is contagious, and if you are also contagious, but it's not likely, because you want success for yourself, right? So you want to really avoid or determine what kind of people you want to be surrounded with. The other question you would want to ask yourself is, am I honoring my mind and body? Are you honoring your mind and your body? Your mind is movement. That's all that you are. and the body is where you're staying. So, am I filling it with things that keep me stuck? If you are filling your mind and your body with things that will keep you stuck, you're going to get stuck. And if you know that you're going to get stuck because you are filling it yourself, then you know what to do. Unfill it, unload it, remove it. So then, by honoring your mind and your body, feed your mind only with things that you want, and feed your body only with things that you know you will enjoy, both in the short run and in the long run. Because when you start living with who you truly are, your energy skyrockets. So understand who you are. That's why I said being mindful, being self aware of who you really are, so that you can see which part of you need or want or to work on improving. Because the most important part is not to improve others, but to improve yourself. If you improve yourself, people around you will also see that, and then they will gravitate towards that. So when you do that, when you live in alignment with who you really are and your intentions, your energy will skyrocket. Then you become magnetic. Then you become attractive. Then, when I say attractive, I'm not saying sexual attraction. I'm saying you are attractive to opportunities. Opportunities will attract to you, will get attracted to you. It will just open doors, or opportunities will reach out. There will also be clarity. There will be success in you. They will all be attracted to you. Somebody says, I don't chase, I attract, which I think is has a whole lot of wisdom there. And yes, even your skin gets better when you stop eating sugar, but that's the side benefit of it. Seriously, just try it, okay? Stop eating sugar for 6 days or a week, and you will see the difference in your body. So try that one. Do we have enough time? We have enough time for some questions. Let's have some questions here. What are effective ways to set boundaries with individuals or activities that disrupt your focus and frequency? Oh, good question. So let's say that again. What are the effective ways to set boundaries with individuals or activities that disrupt your focus and frequency? Really, there is no set of rules or ways. It could vary and differ depending on what kind of circumstances you are in, or what opportunities there are, or what we call that the the backstory of those circumstances, where now you are surrounded by individuals, and what's going on there, and how are you going to set those boundaries. I would say just the ability to say no. That's number one. You will have to have the ability to say no, because there is a big powerful yes of you. You can never really say no powerfully until there is a big yes inside of you. The yes inside of you is because you are moving intentionally to the direction where you want. And if you see that and you're very clear with that, then you can say no to the distractions, because they don't matter and they're wasting your time, and you don't want that. They're draining your energy, and you want that energy to be used purposefully to the things that you want to see accomplished. So it's easy to say no to that. But if you're not clear, you will give it a try, maybe this, maybe that, then you're inviting some trouble there. So be very clear. When you set boundaries, it's going to be very easy to say no to the things you don't want, because you have a big yes to the things that you want. So how do you set those boundaries? By saying no. Okay. The other one is, of course, stay away. That's the other one there. But with individuals or the activities that disrupt your focus, if there are activities that disrupt your focus, just stay away from them. For example, television. If that doesn't contribute to your goal, then why do you watch television, right? Now, well, there's news. It's good to be updated. Does that contribute to your intentional purpose in your life? If it doesn't, then why do you spend time? It drains your energy spending time about a television news because you think you want to be updated. You want to be updated for something who was killed, who was shot in the corner of a street, or you want to be updated about what it is that you want or the next step that you want to be able to do that will help you realize your dream or purpose or goal in life. So you really want that focus, because if you are focused, now you look at others or you look at those circumstances, you're veering away. You're causing the disruption yourself because it's all there. Remember, it's energy. Okay. You can either use it for good or you can use it for your destruction. It's all about energy. So whatever activities are there, for example, you want to see a musical concert, right? You want to see a musical concert. What does that contribute to your goal? If it contributes to your goal, then by all means go ahead and learn something. Maybe you want to learn about the music, maybe you want to learn, or maybe you have, what is it that contributes to you? That's what you're going to focus. Okay. So for example, you're going to from Houston to Manila. What is it that you're just, well, I'm just going to Manila just because. You just do like that, but there's no purpose. There has to be some form of purpose, because if you don't have a purpose, somebody will give a purpose for you that you don't want. Okay, always remember that somebody will give you a purpose for yourself that you may not want if you don't determine and make a purpose for yourself. So everything you do has to be intentional. All right. So we have answered some of those questions. Now remember, am I making choices that excite me? Number two, am I surrounding myself with people who lift me up? And number three, am I honoring my mind and body? And am I fulfilling it with things that keep me stuck? So you're going to answer those. Really, what that boils down is to the question of who am I? What am I about? Where did I learn that? Okay, so now we're going to have a very quick break, and we are coming back with our last segment of our podcast. This is Beyond Health and Wellness, Empowering Conversations with Dr. Rich. We are live at stream.lawin.net, YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. So you will be right back.
In a world filled with fleeting moments, there's beauty waiting to be captured. My name is Christian, and I specialize in immortalizing your most precious memories. From elegant weddings to vibrant events and timeless portraits, I'm here to make every moment unforgettable. Let me tell your story through the lens. Contact me today and let's create magic together.
All right, we are back. This is our last segment for our podcast for this episode today. And I hope everybody is enjoying and having a good time. Thank you for your questions, and thank you for your comments, and thank you for your likes, and for the viewers. I heard we are about 13 to 20,000 viewers now. So that's a really good thing for us to be following this podcast. We appreciate you all and would like to thank you for staying with us and learning with us. Send us your messages, send us your, even if it's just like in our replays in the podcast platforms. Make sure that you stop by and listen to some of them. We'll guarantee you that you can learn something from our segments and our broadcast. So now we are concluding our segment today with this challenge. And the challenge is that there, for the week, I'd like for you to pay attention to your frequency. And how do you do this? When you want to pay attention to which frequency, look at the chart that I shared with you like this. These are levels of, are you in that level, or what kind of frequency? The higher you go, the better the frequency is. Okay, the higher you go, the better the frequency is. So identify which frequency are you and pay attention to that frequency. Usually if you go up higher, the more positive it is and the better the results and the better it feels. Okay, so there is that dopamine. Now here's the first thing you want to do. You want to make sure that, number one, notice when your energy shifts. What is it that's pulling you down, or what is it that's lifting you up? Identify those, notice them. Okay, remember I told you, be mindful, be aware. What is it that shifts your energy from negative to positive, to a little positive, to a little negative, and then too negative? What is it in that continuum? What is pulling you down? Is it somebody's comment? Is it somebody's facial expression? Is it somebody's attitude? Is it your wallet? Is your dog? Is it a family member? What is it that's pulling you down? And then also identify what is it that lifts you up. Okay, that's number one. Number two is remove one habit that drains your energy. One. Remember, this is for the week, okay? Because we're going to see you again next week. But remove that. Remove just one habit that drains your energy. If it's about spending more than 30 minutes, let's say you spend 45 minutes scrolling in your Facebook feed, 45 minutes, you want to remove that one habit. Maybe you want to say just 30 minutes. Okay, we want 30 minutes for the week, just one, not all. I want 1% improvement. And then let's move on to step three. The third step is to replace that habit or that particular activity that you did, replace it with something that raises your vibration. Let's say you want to read, or you want to sing a song, or you want to move, or you want to just be silent, or you want to just laugh. Remember, laugh is giving you endorphins, which is a feel good hormone. Or you want to do gratitude, that's giving you oxytocin. So you want to replace that for that 15 minutes that you took out from scrolling, because you've been scrolling for 45 minutes. You want to scroll just 30 minutes, and 15 minutes of that you replace it with something that raises your vibration, like reading, music, movement, silence, laughter, gratitude. Replace it with that 15 minutes, and that's all I need. By the end of the week, I will guarantee you will feel the shift. Okay, that is a guarantee. Let's repeat that. First, notice when your energy shifts. When your energy shifts, identify what's making it shift, what's pulling it down, and what's lifting it up. Okay, when it shifts, whether it's good or bad, what's making it shift? Something, somebody gave you money, somebody says you are beautiful. What's making it shift up or down? Identify that. Okay, and the other one, remove one habit that drains your energy. One habit, maybe you are not, you sleep too long, let's say, and you want to you used to, what do you call this, walk in the morning, but you're not walking for that hour after you wake. Remove that habit and replace it with walking, something like that. And then the third step is to replace that with something that raises your vibration, like walking or moving, for example. Okay, so that is very important for us. And I hope that if you ask questions or have something that you want to clarify, or you want to share with us your experiences, please do so in our chat, in our email, in the comments, in the replays, because we are happy to acknowledge that, and thank you for joining and learning with us if you want to share your experiences as well. So again, I would like to make mention what you want to do for this week. First one I want you to do for this week is to make sure, pay attention to your frequency. And the way to do that is to notice. Number one, notice when your energy shifts. Identify what pulls you down and what lifts you up. Number two is remove one habit that drains your energy, just one. Number three is replace it with something that raises your vibration, like reading, music, movement, silence, laughter, or gratitude. That's about it. When you do that for this entire week, I guarantee you'll feel the shift from one level of your frequency to another. Okay? So I'd like for us to remember that. And then next time we are going to talk about how you are going to protect your energy, how you're going to stay aligned in your energy on your level of frequency and keep raising your frequency to the level you want it. Because the higher you go, remember, the higher you go, the better you feel, the better the results, and the smoother your life becomes. You are powerful beyond measure. Every single one of you. We are all powerful beyond measure. It is not fear is fear for humans is not because we don't know or can't do anything, but fear should be because we are so powerful beyond measure. That is where fear should be. But if you only recognize that, then you are unstoppable. No one can stop you because you know that when you start doing the things that you ought to be doing in your life, you will see the results. So, in closing, we are going to go back to from the very beginning when we talk about why we get tuned up. There are so many energy that is contagious that will tune us out from the frequency we want to stay in. Okay, and the first one of these causes when we are out of alignment is too much or an overload of social media. And then the other one is our toxic conversations. The other one is our mindless consumption of anything, junk food, excessive TV, low energy habits that drain us. Okay. And then we talk about calibrating our energy. When we calibrate our energy, we want to make sure that we start, let's say in the morning, we want to have our morning frequency check. And then we want to move our body, like either you dance, you jump, you walk, but move. And then clean up your inputs, pay attention to what you consume. Your high frequency content will equal to your high frequency energy. You want high frequency energy, have high frequency content. And then take quick energy resets. Pause, close your eyes, breathe, realign, let go. And then set boundaries like a boss. When you set boundaries like a boss, I'm saying that to yourself. You set boundaries, the ability to say no if it doesn't deserve if it doesn't serve your purpose. You want to say no because you really want to focus on the things that you want to see happen in your life. And then in the third segment, we talk about aligning with our true purpose. And our true purpose is very personal. You know what your true purpose is. Your true purpose is identified. And if you haven't yet, you want to spend some time identifying what your purpose is in life. Because without a purpose, it's like a ship that doesn't have a rudder. It can just go anywhere, but there's no destination. So it can easily get wrecked. So it's just like that. Life is just like that. We need to identify what our purpose is. Spend some time. People go to India, people go to the mountains, people go somewhere where they can be on their own, alone, so that they can identify what their purpose is. Spend time like that if you want, or just stay home, wherever, but stay alone so that you can identify what your true purpose is in life. Now, after that, the thing that you want to do to avoid negativity is being intentional. And by being intentional, you want to accept, you want to ask yourself, am I making choices that excite me? Am I surrounding myself with people who lift me up? Am I honoring my body and my mind? So you want to have that because when you do, you are living in alignment of who you truly are, and your energy will really skyrocket. And then you become a magnet to the opportunities, to the things that you desire. Okay. And then, of course, the last one that we were talking about is the challenge that I told you. There are 3 steps to the challenge. This is a challenge to pay attention to your frequency for the whole week. And the first one I'd like for you to do is to notice when your energy shifts, what pulls you down, what lifts you up. And then number 2, remove one habit that drains your energy, just one habit. And number 3, of course, replace it with something that raises your vibration, like reading, music, movement, silence, laughter, or gratitude. And I can guarantee you at the end of the week, you will feel the shift in your life. So, next time, we'll be talking about how to protect our energy, how to stay aligned, and keep raising our frequency because we are powerful beyond measure. This has been Beyond Health and Wellness podcast, empowering conversations with Dr. Rich. We're happy that you are here with us. We are live in stream.lawin.net, YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook Live. And until next time, we thank you for being with us. We'll see you in our episode number 5 next Friday. Bye bye, everyone. Have a great day.